of the world. On the southern coast of New Zealand, just one crew is willing to risk it all.
You've got great white sharks, you've got 7 gillas. You never know what's going to come up behind you.
With a global industry worth almost $500 million a year,
Dollars!
there's fortunes to be made. Chasing one of the world's most sought-after delicacies.
I've probably just made $600 in about an hour and a half.
The sea urchin.
That's why they call it spiky gold.
For huge paydays,
7 to 13 hours.
they're pushing the limits. Diving up to 150 feet on one breath.
I have flapped out.
It's one of the world's most dangerous professions. Mistakes can be deadly.
You've got glass clock, big shark, eh?
I'll go in there, pull his tail, I'll give you 20 bucks.
But these divers are some of the best
He's the best spear fisherman in New Zealand and I'm right on his tail.
and hungriest
Got it! Got me! Monster!
in the world.
We go hard.
It's what happens when you hold your breath for 5 years.
One boat, 2 teams.
Double it there for you.
Is that ahead of me?
The race is on.
It's good fun, man.
It's late Friday evening in Bluff Harbour, the southernmost port of mainland New Zealand. The crew of the San Nicholas are readying the ship for a weekend of hunting down some fat sea urchin.
Leaving Bluff, 9 o'clock-ish. Cold as, dark as, gloomy.
Skipper Dwayne Herbert had been planning to steam the vessel west towards some prime spots in Fiordland, but the weather report has changed his mind.
It is storm warning in force with 50 knots, northwest or westerly, so anything from the west is no good for us. So we're sort of going to change tactic and head down the south side of Stewart Island and find a little tucked-in bay called the Port Pegasus, and we'll hide in there for a couple of days out of the weather.
Fovo Strait is a notoriously rough waterway that has claimed many fishing vessels over the years. 50-knot winds would make the voyage perilous.
Fovo Strait is one of the dodgiest places I've ever been in my whole career. It's sunk so many boats. Weather conditions that have just changed instantly with a click of a hand and you just don't expect it, and it can happen at any time.
The new destination should see the San Nicholas avoid the bad weather, for now at least. The 10-hour overnight journey to Port Pegasus will take the crew down to the very southeast corner of Stewart Island. But for now, it's lights out on the San Nic. Hopefully a good sleep will have the crew raring to go in the morning.
Oh, yeah, man. Straight away, I roll over, put the head down, gone ski. It's got to be a bit of water rushing against the hull, though, otherwise it's no-go.
Night race, we'll see you in the morning, mate. I close my eyes, I just listen to the motor until I slowly fall asleep, and then from there she's lights out till I get woken up for watch, and then usually I don't get back to sleep after that. Ready for a bloody big day's work ahead of us. It's going to be awesome, my G. Kill it again. Sure, my bro, killing it every day, making the money.
We had a great steam down last night, Port Pegasus. The weather's looking pretty good for us today. Boys are really keen to get in the water and make some money.
Just arrived at Port Pegasus. It's a ripper of a day. I'm just chucking the dough there straight on my boat. Going to get out of here as soon as possible. Quite excited about today actually. We're in a real good spot for diving. Generally really fat sea urchins, so hopefully it all goes well.
Always the fat urchins, man. Always here. I'm really excited for today.
Unfortunately, despite the prospect of a productive dive, it's not all roses for every crew member today.
Bit of mixed emotions. Could be my last trip today, which is a bit of a bummer. But yeah, we'll get in there, make some money and get out of here. Have a few beers.
Due to family commitments, Dion has to leave the crew and return to his home in Gisborne to work in the forestry industry.
Yeah, it's a real shame that Dion's leaving. He's been a real good morale booster to the team. Hopefully we can entice him back and get him back on the boat and part of the team again.
That's what happens when you work too hard. Just don't ever buy this brand, eh?
Filling the flippers of an experienced diver like Dion is no easy task, but young buck Storm feels his days as a dinghy buoy are over and is ready to prove he can hold his own with the best of them.
Like, I love diving so much, and that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day. And you know, if I do well on this trip, hopefully my days as a dinghy buoy will be finishing behind me, you know.
But to get to the top, you have to start at the bottom, and no one's prepared to make that journey easy for Storm.
I got dinghy today. It's actually got literal in it. Mutton birds all night, not good.
It's 3 teams going out today, and as always, the competition is fierce. Team Raymond are wasting no time to get stuck into the action.
My mindset when I first jump in the water is get my 2 bins back to the boat before those other guys, always.
Right, let's rip into it.
Back on the sand Nick though, Storm is struggling to get dressed, let alone prove he can keep up with the others.
I can't find my gear, that's what we need to find. Bloody DH is freaking hitting it.
Looking less than impressed with his crew's antics, Skipper Dwayne is next away. He's an excellent diver with skills that rival Raymond's.
Most days it's game on between me and Raymond. Unfortunately, I'm feeling a little bit today. Starting to feel a bit achy and a bit fluey.
A flu will dramatically reduce Dwayne's breath hold and restrict his movement. Looks like the real competition will be between young buck Storm and Dion today.
I'd have to say there's a little bit of competitiveness. Already know Raymond's a little, you know, above our league, but yeah, out of me and Storm.
Found her. Turns out I wasn't really looking very well, but found her now, so let's go make some money.
Dion probably shouldn't be too worried. With Storm struggling to dress himself and now intent on practicing his backflips, it looks like the competition is pretty thin. Fittingly, they appeared up today and off to get the day started. Well, almost.
Turns out I am useless, leave my kinda right behind. Got the weapon of mass destruction, so let's go.
Finally, all the teams are in the water, and it's game on to get back to the boat to unload first. Unsurprisingly, first out is the first back to unload. Team Raymond and Red Dog have filled 2 bins, or dolabs as they call them, and they're pretty stoked with the quality.
Pretty good start to the morning, yeah. Real fat sea urchin. Yeah, there's gangster titties. Ha!
Those first 3 bins we got were bloody awesome, 11%, so I'm just waiting to get back out there. They could even be fatter.
The ratio of roe to shell mass is what determines the value of the sea urchin. The heavier the roe, the better. 2 full dolabs of fat sea urchin is worth some serious money. And Raymond's not shy to boast about it to his competition.
Yeah, so funny, I kicked your ass, 2 years and I caught the same. And a short... Nah, it started 10 minutes before you, but you still it must suck over, right?
Raymond and Red Dog are always giving, you know, the other team whatnot. But for me, I personally want to try to be as good as him. You know, we're both like the young guys on the boat, and so I look up to him and I want to just work as hard as him, if not better, you know, one day.
Despite the sledging, Dion and Storm are pretty happy with their first effort.
Raymond's been breaking it. That's why he's doing well. We're just going in the shallows, getting this real good fat stuff, so we make a lot of money.
No, they're not great, but yeah, probably better than Raymond's anyway. First time really diving in this spot, and it's off to a pretty decent start, but hopefully the afternoon can be a bit better, really.
In the right conditions, a good diver can pull in over 3 tons of sea urchin in a day to a value in excess of $2,000. 16-year-old Storm isn't quite at that level yet, but even half that number would see him earning a higher at high school.
I feel pretty privileged, you know, I'm 6, if not more than what my teachers are making, so it makes school pretty good, just, you know, proves that education isn't everything. Like, they on about university and stuff, but mate, I'm out here doing this at 16 and I'm having a great time.
But of course, there is a catch to why this is such a lucrative career. Commercial diving, hazardous occupations in the world, and Dion. At the southern tip of Stewart Island, the crew of the San Nicholas are on the prowl for sea urchin.
Always the fat urchin here. Really excited for today.
As always, the competition is brutal.
So funny, I kicked your ass, 2 years and I caught the same.
But Team Raymond are firmly in the lead.
2 big ones and they got 3 small, so changing them.
Dion is on his last trip with the crew before he has to return to his home in Gisborne.
That's what happens when you work too hard.
He's teamed up with Storm today, and they're hoping to make his last dive a fruitful one.
Got the weapon of mass destruction, so let's go.
But unfortunately, they're not alone.
I've never seen a shark until a couple of trips ago. We'd seen 7 gillers everywhere, and today I'd probably seen the same 7 giller 3 times and kept coming up and bugging me. It's kind of like a first every time you see them, mate. Yeah, you still get a shock.
7-gill sharks can be aggressive if provoked, and these guys certainly aren't shy.
There would have been easily a dozen there, eh? Like it was crazy. I've never seen so many sharks in one spot. There was just one big one, man. It was like probably 3 meters long. It was just awesome.
And the last voyage was no exception, when skipper Dwayne was forced into an executive decision.
This one here was getting quite boisterous to me and coming in quite hot, so we didn't really have much choice.
Got to put the boys' safety first.
Such extreme measures only need to be taken in desperate times. And the way these predators of the deep are showing interest in Storm and Dion, the moment may be upon them to get out of there.
Yeah, it's pretty distracting having like a whole dozen sharks, you know, cruising around, and you know, you see their mouths come out of the water and you're just trying to focus on work. You can't.
But youthful exuberance prevails, and with a pat on the back, Storm sends these shark-toothed cruisers on their way. As the crew work into the afternoon, the sunny skies have been replaced with grey cloud, strong winds and rain.
As a diver in poor conditions is horrible. We have to compete with real good swell, so when we're down there, we're getting pushed around a lot, we're getting blown all over the show. And when we come up as well, the dinghy boy is also getting blown all over the show.
It's one of those days where you just hate being a dinghy boy, bro. You're just sitting in the dinghy, just waiting for that next kit, man. Suffering in the wind. But hey, you do what you got to do for $1.
With competition rife, the teams race back to the San Nic to get pole position to unload for the second time. Team Ray and Red Dog win the race, but Raymond is starting to show signs of tiring in the testing conditions.
Oh, it's not okay, It's real scratchy, it's real I've been drinking and I've pissed the last week and I'm really feeling it, like it's horrible. And I just can't hold my breath. Pretty rough out there. Pretty.
It probably doesn't help that Raymond is opting to breathe through his snorkel even while he's out of the water.
Number 1, it looks real cool. Number 2, I don't want to take my mask off my face. And number 3, I can't taking my snorkel out of my mouth. So there you go.
Red Dog and Raymond are firmly in the lead. That's 4 dough labs in the hold and plenty of daylight remaining. On top of that, they have a few tricks up their sleeve for the afternoon.
We got a secret we positive we go and do. Me and him both know it. We've both been there a few times, so got to slay it, man. So yeah, we're gonna go in here. We've been all around here. Me and Raymond have got this wee cheeky wee spot right up in here.
Oh, is it here?
Yeah, right in and around these nuggets.
The doggy and razor hot spot.
Yeah, all around in there. It's loaded. But this bit in here, it's just quite really well known for sea lions. Like they're everywhere. They're quite aggressive.
Yeah. Male sea lions can grow to be up to 3.5 metres in length and weigh as much as 450 kilograms. They are extremely territorial and not shy to make their presence known if they feel you're intruding.
I was diving away in a group of about 10 or 11 coming, and yeah, you wouldn't want to get bitten by that. You get some disease.
We just tell all the boys there's heaps of sea lions in these no canoes there and they'll just stay away. Me and Raymond can get in there and clean up the last 2 bins for the day. Yeah, shit, yeah. Be back on the boat, like, finish by 4 o'clock. Yeah. Hopefully.
You gotta be. We're the slayers on here, man. We smash it. Gotta lead by example.
With that sentiment, they haul ass into it again.